I just had a nap for the first time ever. No, it's part of what I want to share with you guys right now is just like the gift of this time, right? I'm kind of in that like groggy. I wanted to hop on and do a live with you, like I shared earlier this morning. If you caught my stories, 20 minutes as if, oh my gosh, you know me well. I'm gonna try to keep it to 20. Let's roll in. We've got about 90 of you here on live, so welcome. I wanted to bring a blog post to life through this live stream. It's a blog I'm going to post tonight called Times Like These. And I want to share just some goodness, some practical ways to leverage this time, this gift of being home that a lot of us are, I'm sure all of us are experiencing no matter where we're living in the world. But I want to open up with a quote. I'm literally going to read for you the blog post, okay? Yeah, make sure you play the Jack Johnson song. One of the things I'm going to share with you is a playlist I uploaded this morning over on Spotify, you guys. It's called Good Morning. If you follow me over there, Ange Peters or WholeFit, just look up the Good Morning Spotify playlist. I made it this morning while I was thinking of songs that I wanted to listen to around our place in the morning, just to create those beautiful vibes. So I want to open up with a quote. A lot of you have seen this posting around by Fred Rogers. It's one of my favorites, and it's just so timely right now. Yeah, Foo Fighters inspired, right? Love it. When I was a boy, I would see scary things in the news. My mother would say to me, "Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping." And that's what I wanted to talk about right now. Is we are certainly all feeling a lot of this adjustment, right? I've been having a good couple of days, to be honest. If you caught my blog post that I shared last week, it's over on my website. You can search on the blog. It's titled "How to Not Be a Good Host," and this was kind of in the middle of that storm that was brewing last week, where I could really feel, okay, this is where this is going. We need to get prepared. We need to come back to a state of calmness through being prepared. And I was feeling good for a couple of days, to be honest. And then last night around 2:30 in the morning, I woke up in my sleep with just this like anxiety ball in my stomach. I made the mistake of reading up on some of the developments that had been happening. For example, yesterday, the Prime Minister in Canada came online to announce much tighter borders and creating quite a storm around people getting home, right, to Canada. And there's going to be quite a bit of chaos at the airports. And, I was thinking about that. I woke up thinking about it. I was thinking about all the families right now that are being that are forced into closing their businesses, the people that own the brick and mortars that we love to support, and kids are home from school. And of course, also yesterday, just reading so many articles about a vaccine being pushed really quickly to market for the coronavirus. And regardless of what your feelings are on vaccines, I think we can all agree that anything moved to market very quickly right now would not be a good idea, right? It needs proper testing and research. And of course, there's a lot of people signing up to be the research. They're being paid money to do it. And I'm looking at all this. I was like, oh man, all of this is happening so fast. And I'm with you guys, trying to find that balance between remaining informed, but not allowing it to rob our peace and our potential at this time to come together. And so we woke up this morning, and as a family, the very first thing we did was we went for a walk. And I have to say, just in that simple morning of walking outside and saying good morning to other people, I felt everything dissipate, and I just felt more at ease. And I really came home with this feeling of, we're going to get through this together, right? There are so many people, you guys, showing up right now and helping in the way that they can to create a sense of connection and community for us all. And I want to highlight some of them here, as I'm talking, and in this blog post, I'm going to share some of the great things I've been seeing, big and small. I think the key thing to remember at a time like this is that if you are open to being a helper, you're going to be shown how you can. And I mentioned that music playlist. It's such a silly little example, honestly. But I was thinking about that this morning, I'm waking up each day thinking, how can I help today? What is something that I could share or do for another person to help just lift a bit of that burden? And I was given that simple nudge to create a music playlist. You guys know how much I believe in the power of music and oils. If you're not new here, those are two of my biggest anchors for creating that feeling that you most seek in your home. So I'll link up that music playlist for you guys in the blog. If I may suggest a beautiful morning blend that not only will create just a lovely aroma, but that feeling of peace in your home, and also very loving on your immune system. Equal Drops, bergamot, and arbor vitae. I actually have arbor vitae right here, you guys. It's such a grounding oil. I encourage you to grab it if you have it nearby right now as we're chatting. I'll also link up for you in that blog post my diffuser guide. There's lots of blends in there that you can play with right now to create that the aromatic anchor that you want in your home. So getting back to the topic of looking for helpers, there's a lot of sharing going on right now, and it's important that you seek to be in community with people who are truly looking to be of help, because there's so much noise. There's so many people out there talking about their theories and their conspiracies and I told you so and pointing fingers, and this is not a time for that. In fact, I would unfollow those people. I would saturate your space only with people that are showing up right now and looking at how they can be useful and how they can help the collective. So we're going to get through this together. We're going to come out of this better. I truly believe it. And it won't only be because of social distancing. That is obviously very important right now. I believe we're going to come out of this better because of how we became closer, even in a time when we are apart. And there's so many examples. Oh my gosh. I'm excited to share this blog post with you. Now, I do want to say, in this blog I'm going to share later tonight, there are some great ways to leverage the extra time at home, along with an example of a daily ritual that I'm doing with the kids. But as a disclaimer, I think it's important that we don't just rush into a list, rush into busyness all over again. Because I really believe this is the ask of all of us right now, is to slow down, to savor those moments together of calmness and presence more than we ever have been able to do before. There have been many times throughout the last week, I'm sure many of you can relate to this, I hope you can, where I just really feel it in my heart. I feel so much gratitude to simply be together. Absolutely. Our children they're picking up those cues from us for sure. So let that be your first priority, right? And then when you're ready, there's lots of ways you can leverage this time right now. I'm going to share some with you here. And again, they'll be in the blog. Ask yourself, is this something my future self will thank me for? There's a lot you could do right now. Let's be real, right? You've been gifted some extra time. And there's a lot you could do. So I want to give you some examples. I'm not going to read through all of them. I'll direct you to the blog later. Okay, so here are some top ones I want to share. This is a perfect opportunity for you, if you're a business owner, to look at an area that you can skill up in. If you have any kind of service, I honestly think even if you don't own your own business or have something where you've integrated some sort of residual income, let's say, this is really the time to be doing that. That's the point I'm going to make. But regardless of what you do, now is really the time to look, where can I skill up? How can you teach yourself something new that you've been putting off? How many of you have always said, I want to create my own website? And maybe you thought it was something that you needed to outsource. It's actually so easy to do, you guys. I do want to recommend the girls that I worked with when I created the new Whole Fit a couple of years ago. The company is Go Live HQ. They're wicked. And one of the things I love about them is they have all these beautiful, brilliant templates that are really easy to use on Squarespace. But I really want to give them a shout out because they run these launch camps where they teach you from like the ground up exactly how to build it. And they're brilliant. I really love them. Another example is how many of you have said you'd love to do a podcast? It's easier than you think. Okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Like literally what I'm doing right now, this audio with you, I will take this audio and upload it to the podcast. So I'm never doing things multiple times. Now, if you're looking to do a pro podcast, you wouldn't do what I'm saying, right? You'd get into advertising. You'd be looking to make the podcast something that's income generating for you. But if you're looking for a way to connect with your audience in a different way, in a way that feels very connected and personal, and you're literally in someone's ears, then podcasting is the way to go. I mean, I do want to share something I came across. My friend Shanna Recker is offering, she has a Build Your Podcast Blueprint. It's usually a paid product, and she's offering it free right now. So I'm going to link that up in the blog post. How about skilling up in your life? What better time to learn a new language, or learn how to pickle veggies, or how to knit, or how to paint, or how to change a tire? Like, think of something in your life that might be a skill you could really use down the road that your future self would thank you for. Tip 3, finish that online course. I know I'm not alone in this. There are many courses I've signed up for over the last 3, 4, 5 years that I never really got around to finishing. So this is a great time to do that. doTERRA, a lot of you here love essential oils. doTERRA just launched an essential oil specialist course. The content is killer. It's so good. If you've wanted, you guys know your essential oils work if you're using doTERRA. This course is going to teach you why and how they work. So if you really want to get into that, they've actually reduced the price from $97 down to, I believe, $49 right now. I'll give you the link in the blog post. How about setting up automations in your life and in your business? You guys probably know, if you're not new here, I'm a huge fan of this. This, of course, is much of my Beautiful Life Lab program. Automations to help your life and business run smoother. Now, if you aren't yet subscribed to the Whole Fit Insider list, my welcome gift to you is a tools guide where I give you all of the links to the tools and products that I use, much of which help me automate my life and business so that I'm not stressed as my business grows. This is a really big deal if you are somebody who owns a business and have the opportunity to scale. Okay, so if you want, I'll again in the blog post, I'll give you the link for that, but you can go to wholefit.com/tools guide. How about cleansing your social media and devices? I've been thinking a lot about this one. Simple things like organizing your apps on your phone into folders. But how about reducing the amount of people you're following on Instagram, on Facebook? And again, a good way to know is who's showing up right now to be useful and helpful, and who's just creating to the noise storm. You want to surround yourself with people who are helping right now. And those are the winners. Those are the ones you really want to be around. Working on that big idea that you've had for a long time. Maybe some of you have wanted to write a book. What if every morning you set aside a couple hours just to write a few chapters, or just write and see where it goes from there? How about recording videos for your business, tutorials for your team? You can use a platform called Loom where you can screen record, tutorials, things that, you've had on that list, that parking lot for a long time. Another thing that's important right now is learning about residual income streams. This is really important. And a lot of you are feeling this pinch right now. And I feel broken about this for people, because this is that forward thinking you want to be having. If anything comes of this time, it's how important it is to be prepared for anything, to be ready for anything, right? You don't want to ever feel like if you were forced to not be able to work, that you wouldn't be able to pay your bills. This, of course, is a lot of the conversation I see around the government making decisions to shut down businesses. There's a lot of commentary. where people are saying, well, are you going to pay my mortgage? Are you going to pay my bills now that you're forcing me to close my business? And that's a huge pain point, right? But this is the time to be looking into residual income streams, multiple ways you can make money, okay? If you have experience in anything, literally, that you've gone through you've learned through doing something and you could teach somebody what you've learned, it's time to put it together into a program. You can hop over to Teachable and make a course for people. You could just put it into a program that you could sell, something that's residual. Ebooks are another example of that. If you are creative, think about making more during this time and opening up your shop on Etsy. Network marketing, of course, is a brilliant integration. I mean, honestly, if you don't have a love for essential oils, find something else that you love. And because you love it and you live it, sell it. Because that's why people buy. They want to buy from people who they are clear examples of what they're selling, right? It's the number one reason that doTERRA is such an appealing business model, is because the essential oils are not a fad product, right? They're life-changing. They're having a huge positive impact on the world. And the business model is built for the long term too, you guys. It's not like a get rich quick thing, right? So one of the links I'll share with you, I have quite a few of my business partners are partnering with their teams to offer info sessions and just beautiful shares this week of people who do this business and how they make it work for them. So I'll share that in the post. What else? Do your own photo shoot. Go get a tripod and a remote for your camera. So simple. Stand in front of beautiful light, put on some different outfits, and take some new pictures for your business. What a great time to do that. How about creating an email workflow? One of the platforms I'll share with you in this post is Flowdesk. I've moved all of my email marketing over to Flowdesk in the last few months. It's brilliant, and you can get in at $19 a month right now. So this is a great time to build that for your business, for your team. I mean, guys, I'm going to give you a lot more ideas. I'm going to skip this part right now and just get to the daily routine and wrap this video up because I said I would be 20 minutes. How long have I been going? So a nice simple daily routine. Guys, like I said, take this week to just get sorted out, right? Get just yourself in order. Do what you need to do to feel prepared and calm. But then the sooner you can get into a routine, especially if you have kids, the better. Because this is what's also going to instill in them a sense of safety, not only for them, but for yourself. Okay, so having a daily routine right now is something you want to be thinking about. I want to give you an example of how we are flowing our day. Okay, so first thing I mentioned this morning, going for a walk with the kids. That beautiful. I want to do that every day. Not only that, I want to end our day with that. So think about doing a family walk before breakfast. And then an early morning grocery store trip would be smart to go when it's not super busy. I still see the grocery stores are, when you drive around, the parking lots are pretty full in the afternoon. So you could even order your groceries the night before for pickup or delivery. A lot of places are offering delivery. Breakfast together, of course, play the music playlist that I'm going to link you up to. While you're in the kitchen in the morning, you guys, for breakfast, that's a good time to organize your food for the day. So think about lunches, think about dinner, what you can, what produce you can prep and wash and get ready. So you're not constantly feeling like you're in the kitchen, which is probably how a lot of you are feeling if you have kids right now. Checking in with loved ones in the morning. I've been just shooting texts to my in-laws, my mom, just how are we doing? Everyone okay? Just checking in with friends and family. You also might want to check in with your local health unit or government. I'll link you up to Canada's page, for example. Browse social media for like 10 minutes in the morning. This can feel good to feel connected, check in with your people, but really set a timer on that so that you're not just rabbit holing on social media. And then in the mornings, when the kids are about to begin, so I reckon, like what I'm doing with the kids is having a morning block of homeschooling, and that's when we'll diffuse, like the Bergamo and the Arbor Vitae, for example. I'll link you up with some great resources for a learning block for the kids. There's a lot of mamas and teachers showing up right now to share with you how, just resources and tools that you can utilize. You can do a different thing every day with your kids. break that activity with some exercise. Get everybody moving. This would be maybe before lunchtime. I highly suggest, if you're a mother, that you try to get some isolated time here. Maybe getting out for a walk outside or slipping down to the basement to do a workout, put some music on, something where you can just like have some time to yourself in the afternoon to break that up a little bit. Lunchtime, look at having a big salad every day. You guys have, that one meal you can count on where you're getting lots of good plants into you. Really important right now. And then in the afternoon, what I'm doing with the kids is more of a creative block in the afternoon. So something where they can, work on anything they want that's creative, whether it's painting or knitting or drawing or going and finding rocks to paint, whatever. Smoothie breaks in the afternoon we've been doing. And I'll give you an example of a recipe here. Again, another opportunity to work in some healthy greens and just make sure you're covering their bases. Dinner time, my recommendation here is look at how you could maybe have a different colored veggie every night for dinner. And then a family evening walk, talk about your day for the next day, think about your needs for tomorrow. Again, maybe you need to do some online grocery shopping. But these are just some good examples of how you can flow your day and create some, not only the kids, but for yourself. So this is all going to be on the blog. I'll post that either tonight or tomorrow morning. The blog post will be wholefit.com/blog/times like these. And I want to end off by reminding you, look for the helpers. If you think you could be a helper, you are a helper. Show up. Ask, how can I help today? Who can I help today? Who can I serve today? How can I help lift the burden, even in just a small way, even in just a little way, like creating a music playlist and putting it out into the world, or sharing easy recipes moms can make with their kids. There are so many ways you can show up and be of help now, and what a beautiful time for our world to just feel that unity at a time when we're being forced to stay in our homes. This is the best thing that will come out of this. Look on my Instagram earlier this week, I shared the truth about Isaac Newton and how when the Great Plague hit London in 1665, it became known as the Year of Wonders, which I have a feeling we're entering. Mwah. Love to you guys. Thanks for joining live. I'll upload this later. Keep well.